What's up everybody, it's that guy Skimpy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make chatterbaits using the poison tail jig mold from Do It Molds. I'm also going to show you how to connect the blade directly to the hook. Alright. Okay, so here's the hook, and if you notice the eye of the hook is closed. We have to open that up. So how we open that up is you take a punch and a hammer on a hard surface, you just give it a couple smacks until it opens up. If you see, now the eye is open and you can slip a hook, or excuse me, you can slip a blade on there once you pour the lead and you paint it. Okay, so now it's time to take the hook, put it in the mold and pour the lead and see what we get. I usually pour my jigs with a ladle, but with the poison tail jig mold, for some reason it likes it faster. So what I do is I actually use the pour pot and I pour it straight in. Alright. I always wear gloves and have eye protection. So since this is a weedless mold, you have an area here where you can put a pin to make it weedless. Well, we don't want weedless, so we're gonna put a little Teflon pin in here and barely put it to the edge here, so that way it doesn't have the hole in the head. Okay, as I mentioned before, I don't use the ladle because I always get incomplete jigs when I use the ladle on the poison jig mold. So what I do is I just pour it straight with the pot. So you pour it straight in. Here you go. So just to show you what I'm talking about when using the ladle, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Pour it in with the ladle. You see the back? How you can see the hook there and the lead didn't fully cover it? That's what I always get if I use the ladle. But if I pour directly in with the pot, I don't. Okay, so now it's time to clean it up. So I use two tools. I have cutters and a file. So let's start by cutting this sprue off. And then you take a little file, and what you're doing is smoothing it out. Make sure there's no rough edges. Okay, and I also, right where the weed guard would go, when you put the little pin in there, sometimes you get this little dot up there. So I like to smooth that out. So it's just smoothed out. And you also notice that there's a little bit of lead in the eye. So we're going to take that out. First off, we're going to cut right where that slit is, where the blade would go. We just want to make sure that there is a gap there so you can fit the blade on. And then you can just kind of see how the lead comes right out of the head, or excuse me, the eye. Don't worry if you scratch it up, because you can just hit it with the file again. So if you see, you can see the little gap there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit it with the file, make it all smooth and nice. All right, looks pretty good. Now we're ready for painting. I don't know if you can see the gap there. Okay, so it's time to paint it. Now I'm going to use powder paint, this Pro Tech powder paint, and I use a heat gun to heat it. And what I want to do is I want to just go over it for about 20-30 seconds to get it hot enough. I dip it straight into this green pumpkin, and I want to cover the entire thing with green pumpkin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this watermelon flake, which is a red flake, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the top just to give it a two-tone. All right, so I take the hemostats here, and we're ready to rock. Okay, so I'm going to dip it straight in and straight out. Knock off any of the excess here. There you go. So, like I mentioned, we're going to be putting the watermelon red flake on it. So I'm going to put it back to the heat source just for a few seconds, just to heat it up a little bit, and then sprinkle it on. Alright, so I just take a little pinch and I lightly sprinkle it. It's kind of hard to tell, but you'll see once I bake it. Speaking of baking it, I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Okay, so I mixed up some epoxy and I'm going to put eyes on it. So this is what it turned out to look like. I don't know if you can see that red in there. So anyways, we're going to put some eyeballs on it. Just mix up some epoxy. Put a little dab on there. Take an eyeball. Put it on. Put some epoxy on the other side. Take an eyeball. Put it on. And what I do is I take the other side of the cotton here and I line it up to where I want it. There you go. We'll let it dry, but got some eyeballs on it now. So next up, we'll put the blade on. Okay, so we're all dry now. It's time for the blade. So there's still a gap, but sometimes when you paint, it closes up the gap a little bit, so it's a little bit tighter to put on. So here's the blade. We're gonna push it on. Sometimes you gotta kind of rock it back and forth to get it in. Alright, so there we go. So it's on. What I do is I put the blade all the way back and I kind of put in a vise a little bit and I squeeze the eye just a little bit so it kind of shuts it a little bit. Okay, and then since there is paint in the eye, I just kind of bring this back and forth and it kind of takes off the paint. I don't know if you can see that. And I keep on doing that until it's free swinging. Alright, so there it is. If you notice, I have blades with a bend in it. Now I always have the bend facing towards the back. Some people have it facing towards the front, but I like it facing towards the back, so that's how I make it. So now it's time to put the skirt on. I already have a skirt made up. It's a little color I came up with. So what you do is just put it straight in. Push all the way back so the collar is all the way back. Line it up to where you want it. I want the orange on the belly there. There you go. The only thing missing is this. So how you put this on, put it right through the bottom and then in through the other hole. shut it. So there you go. All right, man, so there it is, your very own chatterbait. I do appreciate everybody watching, everybody who subscribes. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to Do It Molds. I want to give a shout out to C2 Castware. I want to give a shout out to Trigger Happy Comfort Grips. Make sure to check out Northwest Bassin on Facebook, and also be on the lookout for a new YouTube group channel called the Legion of Bass. I'm going to be part of that. So all right, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. That guy Skimpy. Chatterbaits, baby.